everything from there, I have sent her chapter by chapter as I've written it. Yes, including the smut.
Taylor Swift, please don't sue me. I just wanna write a cool series.
Hi, I'm Sian, and I want you to write a book with me based on Taylor Swift's song, How You Get the Girl. Last week, I introduced you to the idea of the project, where I will be writing a book from start to finish in this YouTube series, and you can follow along with me and give me suggestions for anything that you think would be good in the book, and together we will end up with a book to read. The idea is that it will ultimately be a trilogy where the first 2 books are from the heroine's POV and the final book is from the hero's POV. And I think you'll find out why as we go along. So if that sounds interesting to you, then you should definitely sing along with me as you hit the subscribe button so that you can carry on this journey with me. And if you want to start this series from the beginning, you can always click the title card that I will put on the screen right now to go back to the start. I'm gonna start with the elephant in the room. When Beata watched that last video, she said to me, and I quote, "Did you really promise a chapter a week?" So I think that I need to temper expectations here and be a little bit realistic about what's actually likely to happen. I'm probably not going to get a chapter written every week. This series is meant to document the process of writing a book. Can I write a chapter a week? Yes. Will I write a chapter a week? Some weeks I will. Did I write a chapter this week? Did I write the character study I promised? Yes. You know, swings and roundabouts. I will be reading to you the character study. I'm so excited. I sent it to my alpha readers, and it's a really good sign that they all said, "Oh my God, I want more. I loved it so much." And then I had to say to them, "You do know that this isn't a part of the book, right?" Right? They said they didn't care. Beata wants this scene from Toby's point of view as one of the outtakes. So hopefully you guys will enjoy that. I'll be reading that in like a minute. I also want to sort of lay out a format for how these will go, especially so that I can timestamp it in the description. What I'm thinking is each week I will start with an introduction, talk a bit about what I've been writing that week, then I will go through the character study, and then we will finally look at the outline for the book as it currently stands. That way that we can track the way that the outline changes as I write. So let's get into it. I'll start by showing you my screen, but I am actually going to just put the words on the screen this week so that, I don't know, it's just a bit interesting. You can actually maybe see it a bit better than when I'm just sharing my screen. Also, the other elephant in the room, because there's already one. Oh my God, how big is my room? There's so many elephants in it. Placeholders. I use placeholders all the time so that when I'm writing, I don't spend like 45 minutes searching for the perfect character name for this character. I do enough procrastinating as it is. Procrastinating on certain aspects of writing is, I don't want to give myself that excuse. So I have gotten very good in my head at just name. And you will see that right here. Name the casting director of my first feature film. For the purposes of making this like just simpler for the book, I'm probably going to take casting director out and just have it be the director of the film so that I don't have to introduce a character and then a character and then a character and character. If you have a problem with that, please let me know in the comments if you think that's very annoying. If you are part of the film industry and you have any feedback that you can give me to add to the realism in my book, please let me know. I would super duper appreciate it because I actually do like feedback, particularly if I'm representing something that seems unrealistic, because obviously, look, it's a big revelation. I feel like I should be honest with you guys. I've never been in a feature film. Yeah. Look, it's hard to tell you. It's hard to admit, but I haven't. I've also never been a rock star. or Taylor Swift. So, all of that. In short, if anybody watching has feedback and has been in or part of a feature film, or a rock star, or is Taylor Swift, please let me know, particularly if you're Taylor Swift. Thank you. And if you are Taylor Swift, please don't sue me. That's all. Anywho, so yes, you are gonna hear Name, the director of my first feature film. I've gotten really used to this. My mum hated it when she first started reading my books as I was writing them. I didn't show her anything until I'd finished the album, but everything from there I have sent her chapter by chapter as I've written it. Yes, including the smut. Anywho, so everything I've written since then, I've sent her chapter by chapter as I write it. And in the beginning, she was getting really frustrated. She was like, it still says Name. I don't, like, you know, can you change that? She didn't like. Originally, I think in the wedding, Heather had a dad and I killed him off later. She was like, I'm just, what? What are you doing? I said, if you want to see how the sausage gets made, this is how the sausage gets made. So, have I had placeholders slip through to publishing? Yes. It happened twice. I don't want to talk about it. I also feel like I don't want people to think poorly of self-published books because I admitted that. Or my books. It was... I have ADHD and I like to leave things till the very last minute. And I also have allowed placeholders to get through the entire editing, proofreading process and formatting process to the point that I still don't remember Becky's last name from the baby because she was named so late. I had 2 placeholders in Wicked Screwed. I got so many messages from people. What happens is when you upload the book to Amazon, it takes like 4 to 6 hours for them to process that upload. And I uploaded with maybe 2 hours before the deadline, which is 4 days before it goes live. And when I was formatting, I was like, those placeholders are still there. I got to change them. I had picked the names for the character and it was one character and the name of a publication, a website maybe. It was a website or publication. I thought to myself, oh, I do a search for the stars. Star. That's why star name. And I do a search for that. And when I was formatting, I did go, oh yeah, I need to change that. And then I think I re-uploaded the file, but I hadn't changed it in the file. I'd changed it in my formatted book and I re-uploaded that to Vellum to format. Yep. And the worst part was I knew for 4 days and I could not change it. Amazon won't let you change it. I got so many, like the second it unlocked, I uploaded a new file, but everybody who had pre-ordered got it straight away. Because you can't, it doesn't unlock until like 8 AM American time. Like I'm sitting there all day and all the Australians are like, hey, did you know? Yeah, thanks. I know. Yeah, thank you. I appreciate that. I did make an announcement on my socials, but what are you gonna do? Somebody said my favorite comment about it was, I thought that the website was called name star. And it wasn't till I got to the scene where it said name too. So that's 2 elephants revealed. How many more have we got in this video? So let us read. I'm so excited. Also, Beata's comment's just been up on the screen this whole time. Love that for us. Okay, here we go. Allow me to read for you. Bear in mind, I am not a narrator. My friend Michelle could do a much better job of reading things than I do. I'm not going to pay her to read everything that I write. I would. If I had money, I would pay her to read everything I write. Everything. every text message, every Facebook post. I would pay her to narrate anything that my little fingers typed. She's that good. Moving on. I cleverly titled this Toby's Audition. I'm creative. Toby's Audition. Okay, so the final actor auditioning today is Toby Jameson. Name, the director of my first feature film tells me. I nod my acknowledgement and turn my head to watch as one of the assistants opens the door and ushers in my potential co-star. She leads him to the center of the room under bright lights, and I turn to look at him on the nearby monitor. The camera is zoomed in on his face, allowing me to see that his eyes are a deep brown behind the glasses he's wearing. His brown hair is so dark it's almost black and tied up in a man bun. He has a neat beard and mustache. I watch with interest as he answers the questions Name is asking him. That's correct. It was a long-running police drama, Toby says in a posh English accent, with a casual shrug of his shoulder and causing his black leather jacket to rustle. I got a BAFTA 3 years running for the role. I'm ready to take the next step in my career to recreate that success in Hollywood. Success in the UK means very little when it comes to starring in a feature film, I'm afraid. Can you read through the scene? Toby nods and runs through the same scene I've seen from 5 other actors today, all of whom were household names, unlike Toby. One of the casting assistants reads my part and Toby gives a good performance. Much better than the last guy, that's for sure. So I'm unsurprised when Name asks our table in a low undertone. I like him. Do you think we should have April run through the scene? Name 2, the author of the novel that the movie is based on, scrunches up her nose. He's good, but I still like the second one. Jacob, was it? I cringe internally. I've always liked Jacob, Name 3's work, but the guy smelled strongly of cigarette smoke, and I dread the thought of filming for months with him if he comes to set smelling like that. Name nods. He was good, but I didn't feel that connection between them. You're certain that April is your Emily? He shoots a quick smile at me. We want to make sure Jacob is the right Eric. That makes sense, Name 2 agrees. Name looks back at me. Would you mind reading again, April? Of course not. I give him my most confident smile, but my stomach is in knots. Everyone in the room watches as I stand and walk toward the man in the center. He looks bored, twisting the single earring in his right ear as he watches me approach with everyone else. By the time I reach him, however, his eyebrows are set in a deep frown. April Conway is playing the role of Emily? Yes, she is, Name says from behind me. My manager said there was a big-name actress for the role. His English accent becomes clipped and his nostrils flare. The disdain in his voice is patently obvious, and heat floods to my cheeks as I turn to look at Name as well. I doubt there's a bigger name than April's, young man. Would you like to read with her and complete the rest of the audition now? Name raises an eyebrow at him, and the air in the room becomes thick with tension. For a moment, I think he's going to leave, but Toby shrugs. Sure, I just thought there was going to be a real actress in this movie, that's all. My jaw tightens and imposter syndrome hits me in full force. He's only saying what I've been thinking to myself. I don't belong here. I belong behind a microphone, singing my heart out. I'm not an actress. Are you ready, April? Name asks. I blink at Toby and push away the negative thoughts. I might not be an actress, but Toby still deserves for me to perform as well as I can, so I'm not the reason he doesn't get this role if his audition sucks. Of course. I turn and smile brightly at Name. It's the fake smile I pull out whenever I have to do media or pretend that I'm not feeling some type of way that wouldn't fit with my perfect image. I take my place a few feet away from Toby, facing him the same way I did when I ran through the scene with 2 of the other actors they deemed worthy of running it with me, instead of just the casting assistant reading my lines. And action, Name calls. Emily, Toby says in such a perfect American accent that it's disconcerting. Please say something. His longing and desire is palpable in his words, and my mouth goes dry as I look back at him. He's staring at me so intensely that my breathing goes shallow. It's not hard to pretend that I'm enthralled by this man. I can't, I whisper, and I can recognize that my performance sounds far more intense and real than it did with any of the other reads, even just from these 2 words. Yes, you can. Toby takes 2 steps toward me, closing the distance between us. I stare at the blue cotton of his plain t-shirt and shake my head, swallowing heavily as I do. He reaches underneath my chin and tilts my face up to look at him. Despite it being written in the script, my skin sizzles where his fingers touch it. When I meet his gaze, my heart pounds in my chest. I am Emily and he is Eric. I love him so much, but I'm too scared that he'll find out my secret to confess it. Then let me talk instead. Toby's voice is low and smooth, and my heart beats even faster as he continues. I want you, Emily, more than I could have imagined I would ever want someone. Stay with me. Everything within me is screaming at me to throw myself into his arms. I want to be with him for the rest of time. I cut myself off and swallow heavily before I shake my head. I wish things could be different. I stare into his brown eyes and lose all train of thought at the pain I see reflected there. My heart hurts for him, and I have a strong urge to protect him at all costs. Why can't it be different? His voice wraps around me, and his presence is so all-consuming that I remain frozen where I am, staring up at him. I'm vaguely aware that I'm meant to say something, but my brain won't supply the words right now. April? Name calls. It's your line. Heat floods to my cheeks as I try to recall the line I've heard at every one of the callbacks today. My brain, however, seems to be too focused on committing the image of the man in front of me to memory to access any of its storage files right now. Sorry, what's my line? There are some low voices from the direction of the casting table, but I can't hear what they're saying. That's fine, we've probably seen enough. Toby's expression changes and his eyebrows furrow as he gives a soft snort of derision. I'm sure he thinks I've fucked up his audition for him. He turns to look at the table as Name says, Thanks for your time, Toby. We'll contact your agent if we have any news for you. Sure. His English accent has returned and it has that clipped tone to it as he says, Thanks for your time. He turns back to me and his eyes rove over my body from head to toe. I'm once again hit by the feeling of not being good enough to be an actress. He gives me a curt nod, then leaves the room. I watch him go, struggling not to run after him and apologise for forgetting my line, but I don't because Name calls me back to the casting table. It felt like I was watching my characters come to life. Name 2 gushes. They embodied their very essence. I know it's not my call and I don't have full creative control, but oh my gosh, they're perfect. Name laughs. Luckily, I agree with you. Their chemistry was off the charts. He turns to me. What do you think? Have we got our Eric? I've never felt more put on the spot than I do right now. Toby's comment about thinking there was a real actress in my role still stings. A part of me wants to say he was terrible, but ironically, I'm not a good enough actress to pull that lie off. Yeah, I think we do. And Beata's comment, this was good and I want more. And I said, yay, I'm so glad. Oh no, I didn't. I said, I'm glad. See, I can't even remember my own words. I mean, like, these are my own words too. But that was like, I was so stoked by everyone's reaction to that because, I don't know, I've been writing the Something Wicked series, which is just no plot or smut for so long, that it was really good to hear people like my words. So please, by all means, if you enjoyed that, comment so in the comments so that I can feel good about myself. So, Toby. So if we look up the character sheet, April's hero, Toby. No, we just switched straight to the tab on the wrong screen. Okay, that makes sense. Of course we would. So what I wanted to show you was like where I'd pulled, my kids are awake, where I'd pulled bits that came from, you know, Julia's character sheet. I may have him take his glasses off. Like I feel like he was, or I may have him put them on. I wanted to mention the glasses, like in theory, because he was reading, but he should be off book. So I don't know, I may take the glasses out because the glasses are only for reading. But yes, so neat beard and mustache, eyes that twinkle, sparkle and dance, gorgeous bum. Wow, Julia, I hope you're okay with everyone seeing this. So I had to think about what it was that would have annoyed April, as I said last week. It also needed to be something that he might say during the audition, and it became clear to me as I was starting to write that he wasn't going to like have any one-on-one time with her. So this comment about, it just plays right into her insecurities because she's always had lots of success in, you know, the music industry, and like music is just something that comes naturally to her. And she wants to make this jump to acting as well. But, you know, all the comments that come along with actresses wanting to sing or singers wanting to act. There's just a lot of public scrutiny, I should imagine. But as I said, never been a rock star or Taylor Swift. Or in a feature film. So this is just what I imagine it'll be like. Again, if you have information that can help me make this a better book, please comment down below. So I think that is going to be it for this week. I already know what I want to write for the next character study. I should probably work on writing, you know, some of the actual book. So I was going to show you the outline before I go. And this is currently where it's at. Obviously nothing's changed because I haven't written anything. Wow, that sounds bad. So honesty time. You can see how it goes actually writing a book. You know, part of that is not doing stuff sometimes. This is where we're at. I'll just go there. Goal is for about 78,000 words. Who knows? More, less, we'll see. And I'll explain what the sneak peeks are some other time. But yes, so I haven't written anything. This is where we're currently at. No changes. So that is it for this week. I think I already know what I'm going to write for the next character study. And, you know what? I was going to write, because what I started doing before I wrote Toby's audition was I started rewriting a chapter from the Hayden's Stalker, actually, because I had more from him in April. Hayden's Stalker from April's POV, and it's when she... Oh, fucking spoilers. But obviously, since that's going to be spoilers, I will write... What I'm thinking is I might write Toby's POV of this chapter. Optimistic. Toby's POV of his audition. Because Beata already said, like, first outtake, Toby's POV of this scene. I know that people were definitely, like, wanting that. So I might do that. But then I don't want to just spend all my time writing and rewriting things, because I already did that for a series. I wrote the entire heroine series, the entire hero series. I'm not doing that again. So I'm switching to dual POV. Except for this series. If you would like to see me read Gabriel's album and break it down chapter by chapter, I will link the playlist for that right here. And if you would like to carry on with this journey with me of writing a book, I will want you to subscribe and like this video and comment and tell all your friends, so that the algorithm likes me. Really just helps if you do anything, interact with this in any way, shape or form. I'm gonna go maybe write something now. So I hope that you have a great week. Bye.